Dr. Jack Shackelford, a prominent physician, invited his fellow townsmen to go with him to Texas to fight the Mexicans. Dr. Shackelford made a rousing speech, and when he finished, enough men to form a whole company volunteered to go with him to help free Texas. The men selected Dr. Shackelford as their captain, and while he drilled them in the town park, the ladies of the community spun and sewed their uniforms. The material for their linsey-woolsey hunting shirts was hand-woven and then dyed red. Because of these shirts, the men called themselves the Red Rovers. Their red shirts, trimmed with fringe across the shoulders and down the sleeves, along with jeans and coonskin caps, formed their service uniform. The ladies also made for each man a dress uniform with a red cap and jacket of velvet, white trousers, and a blue sash. Another town meeting was called, and money was raised to outfit and supply the groups. After a few inspiring remarks, John Hunter Harris, a local planter, laid a $100 bill on the table. It was immediately covered by 11 others. Then followed donations of lesser amounts until the expenses of the company were realized. This is a representation of what could have happened in 1835. Several town meetings are lumped into one for this presentation.
My fellow Courtlanders, as your duly elected and constituted mayor, we call all of you here together to consider an important question which has been raised and which has been the topic of great discussion in the town of Courtland and surrounding communities for some time. Some of you are aware of an article that appeared in the recent edition of the Democrat, written by the former governor of the state of Tennessee, Sam Houston, who is currently making his career in Texas to try to free it from the depredations of Mexican rule. I want to refer to an excerpt from the article in the Democrat in which he makes a direct appeal to people here in Alabama, in neighboring states, and indeed all of the United States wherever men love freedom. I quote, "If volunteers from the United States will join their brethren in this section, they will receive liberal bounties of land. We have millions of acres of the best land unchosen and as yet unappropriated. Let each man come with a good rifle and 100 rounds of ammunition, and come soon. Our war cry is liberty or death. Our principles are to support the Constitution and down with the usurper." I now put the floor open to consideration of the question as to what lengths our town should go to support the efforts of these freedom-loving brothers of ours in Texas. Gentlemen, ladies.
That's that Santa Ana fella, ain't it?
Yes, sir. That's him.
They are Americans, aren't they?
Well, with the notable exception of Mr. Santa Ana, they are indeed Americans, and many of them come from our own section. Many of the people there now are Alabamians, Georgians, Tennesseans, Mississippians, people from Louisiana, and from all over the United States, and even foreign countries.
I say we go.
Lots of free land.
They call it in Spanish a league and a labor, which works out to about 640 acres. 640 acres, and you know the average size of a farm.
Count me in.
That's a lot of cotton.
Count you in?
Count me in.
I said it's too far.
Too far? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it being too far. We
Wearing out
already
around
we
here.
have
I
a
got a
railroad.
farm to take care of myself.
We ain't gonna be gone that
I ain't
long.
going down there.
We ain't gonna be gone that long.
Didn't they make a choice? Now, I got a cousin who went to Texas, and we tried to talk him out of it. And I think the man's made his bed, and he ought to just sleep in it. Now, they knew what they was getting into when they went. I think this is a foolish move. This is just foolish.
Sir,
on the other foot,
if
though.
people
Would you
talked
go?
about, if people talked the way you're talking in 1776 and 1812, we would still
That's
be
right. That's right. That's right.
It's kind of a different issue. They went and established countries that already had a government.
We have fought for freedom twice. We've had ancestors. Some of you fought in the War of 1812.
These are people who went to an entirely different country. This whole other thing's a whole other issue. They knew what government it was. They knew what was going on down there. They knew that they would have to become Catholics. That's what we tried to tell the man before he took off. But no, he wanted to go get free land, but he knew he was going to someone else's country and had to live by their rules.
No one should have to live under a dictator.
Then they should leave,
That's
sir.
right.
They went.
Gentlemen, let me intercede here just for a second. You know that I am a veteran of recent conflict in Florida against the Seminoles. Just returned 2 years ago. And I have to say that war is not a pleasant experience. But this man, Santana, is a tyrant for all I've heard of him. And these people are being oppressed and held down. I think it's our duty as freedom-loving Americans to go there.
Well, how far does this extend? Do we just go everywhere?
No, I lost my husband and 2 sons in the war with Florida, and I don't think any more should go. I only have 1 son left.
We do have
Well,
families
he's
here to
not
consider,
gonna-
you know,
For men
gentlemen.
anyway.
Huh?
War is for men anyway.
Yeah, but here I am with my daughter-in-laws and their grandchildren, and then what am I going to do to support them?
That's why we're going there, to get land.
Well, what's going to happen to this town if a bunch of men get killed? What's going to happen to the wives and
won't
children that are
happen.
here?
Well, it was gone that long.
It won't happen.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what.
I don't know what you're...
It's them. It'll be us next. Just keep on coming.
Exactly.
Oh, you're crazy.
My fellow-
That's just foolish.
my fellow Courtlanders,
That's right.
my fellow Courtlanders,
No, so let's stop him there.
I believe that we can argue until doomsday about whether we should go or not, but I do believe that there are those who will go and those who will not. Nobody is being asked to be forced to go. We're talking about volunteers. Yes, sir.
Even if we do go or don't go, what difference does it make one way or the other? But the main thing is, who's going to pay for this folly? Who's going to pay for put
He's
out the
absolutely
money?
right.
Point.
I'm not going to pay money for
Good
somebody
point.
to go down to the country.
a war, private man.
Especially in a country that's not even ours.
He says that men with weapons, good weapons, should come. What of that? Do you all have them? Do you all have
I
modern?
have plenty of weapons, but that's beside the point.
Where?
Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to furnish
We have
all
to
these
eat,
weapons?
we have to have clothes. We can't just march off as a bunch of farmers. We have to have some kind of equipment. We have to have organization. That's all going to cost money.
We got some veterans here that can help train us. If they would, if they would.
I would be very willing, sir.
Well, if you're willing to pay for the whole thing, I think that would be just fine.
What about the weapons? Where do we get those from?
Well, there's an arsenal.
Not a good one.
There is a state arsenal full of weapons, and we could make the argument to them that since Alabama's sons are marching off, albeit to a foreign land, that Alabama's sons must be protected
That's what you
and
tell them.
defended with the best machinery that money can buy and that man can invent.
Yeah, but it's still going to cost money to send all these people and their outfits. And
Many of these gentlemen still have their long rifles. Some of them passed down to their families.
right, but how dependable are they if they're that old and passed down? Some of them
I
are.
can hit when I ain't.
I need a weapon.
We need something better. There's nothing going on around. Gentlemen, ladies, our fathers, our grandfathers, answered liberty's call in '76. Myself and others here, we answered her call again in 1812. We fought with Andy Jackson down in New Orleans. You know, many of our fellow brothers in the war, they were up in New York fighting the tyrant King George. Tyranny must not be allowed to be loose.
As soon as he
Tyranny
crosses
must
the
be put
Mississippi,
down.
I'm all for marching over.
It is our right, it is our duty, it is our obligation to put down tyranny. Those are our fellow Americans in Mexico. That part of Mexico, they call it Texas, which means friend. Those are our friends, they're our family. Should we abandon our family?
No.
I will not abandon mine. I will go, and I will lead all those that will follow me. And I ask of you, gentlemen, who will follow me? Who here will go with me to Texas?
I'll go. We've already lost too many men, and we need them here. But we have honorable men. All of you are honorable, and I think you have to look at that
Even though we don't want you to go,
Our honor calls us.
your honor and your duty calls.
It's our honor, gentlemen.
So maybe the ones who aren't for it should think about it a little more and decide to go with Dr. Shackelford.
What are we going to wear? Oh, good question. What indeed?
We'll
Should
come
we
up
go
with
as we
something.
are? We could go as we are.
You look ragtag.
That's been done.
Need a uniform.
You gotta have something if you're gonna go like this, that represent our town, state.
Is there wool in the store?
Be awful hot in Texas.
The money is where it is all coming from, isn't it? It always gets back to the money.
We gonna come back before it gets hot.
But before you decide whether you want to go or not, just let me remind you of one maxim that I learned. That all that is necessary for the forces of evil to triumph in this world are that enough good men do nothing. Now talk about the money, talk about the equipment, talk about the supplies.
Gentlemen, I think our decision's been made. We're going to Texas.
Right.
John Harris, and here's $100 bill.
I'll lay it
I got 100.
I got 100. We're going, folks.
Well, if they go, they need to look like men and folks, right?
Well, I ain't gonna let nobody be a coward. It's not about cowards, son.
I thought you weren't going.
Man, I ain't gonna be a coward. I'll go. Get in forces like that, son. Stand by what you do.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, they need to be.
What are we to do about the uniform? Should we go as one company, unified?
Let the ladies of the community make it.
Okay, what should they be? Should we go with the standard U.S. military?
No, we don't.
No, we can't go that way.
What about the hunting frock? I've heard the Mexicans fear the American frontiersmen. Our frontiersmen have been traditionally worn hunting frocks. How about those? What about the color? Should we have a color? I mean, they must be dyed.
How about green so we'll blend into the forest?
No, let's let them see us coming. Let's let them see us coming. Let's dye red.
Red. That sounds good. Who's all in favor of red? All right.
It's a lot of work, ladies.
There you go, sir. We are the Red Rovers.
Red Rovers!
All right.
Dr. Schaefer,
Winnie,
the man is volunteer.
if you'll have me, gentlemen, I will be more than happy to serve as your captain.
Where are we going, Doc?
You're the captain.
Where are we leaving?
Follow you
As soon as we can. As soon as we can get the uniforms made, we will march around this town square drilling, and when we are ready, and when Texas is ready, we shall go.
Dr. Shackelford,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
ladies, since the men have decided to go, the ladies have volunteered that they will make your uniforms for you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Your Honor.
Real quick, and what down here shows that we have a sum of over $1,100 donated for our cause.
Gentlemen, we have a name, we have a uniform, we have a cause. Meet me here tomorrow morning, and we will start on our noble and glorious journey. Good evening, folks.
Let's have 3 cheers for Dr. Shackelford.
Hip, hip, hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Give me some land.
How about this color?
Hey, hand up!
Like
Look at this color, man.
This color?
That color. Gentlemen, that color. That's the color. All good. That's it, ladies. Gentlemen, go home, grab your guns, and meet me here in the morning.
Will do.
Good night, gentlemen.
Well done.
You gonna have something to live for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's why I got married.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, she ain't around. Hear that?
Yeah.
We'll entertain you for a little while. Here it is.
Company. Spring Ram. Company. Right shoulder, arm. Shoulder, arm. Company. Border, arm. Aim. Fire. Cover, arm. Order, arm.
Sergeant, form the men in the street.
Sir, would you allow the ladies to bring the coach forward?
We can do that at this time. Ladies, you'll come forward, please. Present the men their props.
Company. Forward. March. Left. 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 Right.
Loud. Loud.
The Red Rovers.
Hip, hip. Huzzah! Hip, hip. Huzzah! Hip, hip. Huzzah! Ladies, you honor us and you grace us. On y'all, and for Courtland, we shall return victorious. All right. March.
Right.
Bye, Daddy.
When trained and ready to fight, the Red Rovers marched in their service uniforms through the town and back to the depot where, amid the cheers of their family and friends gathered in the park, they boarded the train to begin their journey to Texas. The train was a fairly new transportation media for the area, having been completed in 1834. It was the first railroad west of the Allegheny Mountains and ran from Tuscumbia to Decatur. The tracks consisted of wood stringers 5 inches square, laid down on ties of red cedar and thin bar iron 3 inches wide, laid on and spiked to the stringer. In the middle of the track was the graveled horse path. The first train over the Tuscumbia-Decatur Railroad was pulled by a little engine with a copper firebox, but this engine was not satisfactory, so the engine was stored and horses constituted the motive power until a new steam engine arrived from England. The Red Rovers boarded the train to Tuscumbia. From there, they went by steamboat down the Tennessee to the Ohio River, then to the Mississippi, and on to New Orleans. From New Orleans, they sailed by schooner to Capano, Texas, now called Matagorda. From Capano, they marched to Goliad, arriving in the middle of February. On March 10, 1836, the Red Rovers were incorporated into a regiment commanded by Colonel J.W. Fannin of Georgia. The day before this, Dr. Shackelford wrote from Goliad to his wife, "We have been at this place about 3 weeks and have been fortifying and making it stronger. We are about 90 miles from Behar, or San Antonio as it is called,
Yes, it is.
Goliad, in honor of Father Miguel Hidalgo, hero of the Mexican War of Independence.
I'd like to read to you a certificate of recognition presented to the people of Courtland, Alabama. In recognition of the sacrifice made to the freedom of Texas by the Alabama Red Rovers during the Texas Revolution of 1836, we, the people of Goliad, join Texas in honoring the memory of these brave soldiers. The Red Rovers were men who enlisted in Alabama under Dr. Shackelford and were armed with muskets borrowed from the arsenal of the state of Alabama. The company also received additional men en route from Tennessee, Mississippi, and more after the landing in Texas. It was commanded and equipped and had increased in size to almost 70 men. The people of Alabama stated that these men looked like they were absolutely invincible when they departed on the train. We salute the memory of the Alabama Red Rovers and continue to hold true throughout the passage of time our gratitude for their part in securing our freedom. Courtland, Alabama will forever be etched in the minds of generations of the people of Goliad. Their sacrifice will remain firmly on our minds and in our hearts. We share in the grief of the community that lost the majority of its men, and we share in the loss that they will never be regained. We also share in professing the pride of a free people, a great sense of pride in being a Texan. Although the sounds of the battlefields have faded into history, we are diligent in our determination to never let their memory fade. We salute the descendants of those Red Rovers and issue a special invitation to visit Goliad, a place forever embossed in the channels of Texas history, where Courtland, Alabama will forever be remembered. In witness hereof, I, William J. Schaefer, Mayor, hereby set my signature and cause the seal of the city of Goliad to be affixed this 12th day of June, 2000, William J. Schaefer, Mayor.
I've got a letter here from the governor of Texas, George Bush. Greetings. Congratulations to the Crossroads of Texas Living History Association as you observe Alabama Red Rover Day on March 27th. This occasion provides a great opportunity to reflect on the remarkable contributions made by residents of Courtland, Alabama to Texas independence. The brave men from Alabama who answered the call to serve under Colonel James Bannon's command at Presidio La Bahia made the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. The 1836 massacre in Goliad spurred the Texas troops on to victory at the Battle of San Jacinto. I salute the legacy of the Alabama Red Rovers and their captain, Dr. John Jack Shackelford. Their efforts helped make possible the strength and prosperity the Lone Star State enjoys today. I commend the Crossroads of Texas Living History Association for working to preserve a unique part of our heritage. I also extend warm wishes to Mayor Ted Letson and Governor Don Siegelman. The distinguished history shared by Texas and Alabama creates a unique bond of goodwill and friendship between our two great states. Laura joins me in sending best wishes for the memorable celebration. Sincerely, George W. Bush, Governor.
It's an honor and privilege to accept these awards on behalf of the town of Courtland and the people of Courtland. Most of all, the Red Rovers who left Courtland and fought for Texas independence. And that's who we're honoring today. Again, I appreciate the Crossroads of Texas Living History Association coming in and putting on this presentation. I know they're all busy. I've talked to a lot of them with the jobs they're doing. That takes a lot of work and effort to come travel all the way to Courtland, a small town in Alabama, to honor the people that left here and fought in the Texas Revolution. We do appreciate it. John, we appreciate it.